Hey guys, Editor Jason here. Sorry about this, but we planned to release this video originally last Tuesday, but something happened in Texas that we couldn't do it because the topic of this video of the movie in general is about a school bang bang. I can't say the actual word because YouTube will ban us. And we are sorry about what happened there and thoughts and prayers to the families of the children who lost their lives that day. And viewer discretion is advised. And hopefully you can enjoy this video because of what happened.
Hello, citizens of YouTube land.
Hey.
It's your president and your VP. And yeah, guys, we know we told you that it was going to be June 10th till the next review, but
We lied. No, actually, here's the thing. Warning: this review may not be intended for younger audiences. Viewer discretion is advised
yeah,
for what we're about to talk about.
we felt so strongly about the movie that we just watched that we felt that we had to give you guys the review for it. And the movie of today's review is Run, Hide, Fight, which is only available, unfortunately, at this time on the Daily Wire app. Now, I know that some of you folks out there might be hesitant about this because the Daily Wire is, of course, a conservative
Streaming
app.
service.
It's a conservative streaming app, but this was their first foray into the entertainment side of the spectrum. And this movie contains zero conservative or liberal leaning bias.
No, the film wanted to tell the story, and as we're telling this, guys, we actually have to be careful on how we word it because the YouTube censor gods will ban us from YouTube.
Yeah, so we have to be very, very careful when we're talking about this film, but it stars Treat Williams, who some of you people might know, and also Thomas Jane, who you might also know as well.
It also stars as Isabel May, who's the main central protagonist.
Yes. It could best be described as Die Hard in a school, so to speak, because this is a movie about a school bang bang. And
I'm sorry, I can't take you seriously when you describe it as that. No, actually, yeah, it's about a school bang bang. You guys
we can't
probably
say the actual term, guys, because we can get in trouble here. And it's about one girl who doesn't want to see other people get
other people die.
yeah. She doesn't want to see suffering and hurt come out. We can say it like that.
So the film starts off with Zoe and her dad deer hunting. So take that for what you will. But
And there's a speech about how the animal is injured and that the animal will die a natural death, but it comes at extreme pain.
And then she takes a rock and bashes it over its head.
Yeah, but that kind of comes back, and you'll understand why when we tell you. So she is then her and her dad have taken the deer home so that they can have the venison for the summer, and she sees her mom, or she's talking to her mom, and it's revealed that her mom died of insert unspecified reason, basically.
Probably cancer.
But you know how these things go, guys.
Because she looks like the typical cancer patient, with no hair because of chemotherapy and all that, blah, blah, blah. So enter generic cancer disease here.
Or, like I said, unspecified reason here. Because this happens all the time in movies and in TV shows. But that's neither here nor there. Because her friend shows up who I'm not trying to get political here, but he's black. Okay, guys, it's as simple as that.
He's African American. If you want to do the PC term, African American.
Yeah, but most people that I talk to don't really like that term.
Really?
Yeah, they just prefer to be called black.
Oh, okay, cool.
But we're not trying to be that way, anyways.
And sorry, off topic.
So her friend Lewis, his name's Lewis, he shows up to take her to school. And they're on their way to school, and it's prom season, okay?
And it's senior prank day.
And it's
Remember
senior
that.
prank day. So it's near the end of the school year. And there's this weirdo off in the distance.
In a field. And this comes back to bite later because it's actually a dude named Chris.
Yeah.
He's one of the bad guys, by the way. He plants something in a field. Turns out it's actually an explosive.
Yeah. And Chris has a sister named Anna. And there's also the main bad guy,
Tristan, and then there's
Tristan.
Kip.
And Kip. So those are your bad guys and bad gal in the movie. And so they go to school and they're run off the road actually by some jocks who are just complete jerks. You know how jocks are, guys. You've been there in high school. But hey, for those of you who are athletes out there who consider yourselves a jock, don't be those people. All right. Don't be the ones that got to go around bullying and kind of teasing people. Okay? We know that you're gifted in athletics. Heck, I played athletics in school too. So did he. But that's getting off topic again. Sorry about that. So they go to school and they're going through their day. And the big senior prank was that they basically filled up the entire office full of balloons.
Yeah, that's the big senior prank. Also, there's a slip and slide in the main hallway, so that also comes back.
And this
later.
all comes into play. It's all well done. And so they are.
Then you also see that. So sorry to cut you off, but then it's lunchtime, and and she gets her friend Lewis had actually just asked her to prom,
which she was upset about.
Yeah, and then she gets something on her, and then a girl, Anna, she's in the stall and she's grabbed something, and we don't know what it is until later on whenever Zoe decides to investigate, and you see an imprint of a gun, a pistol to be precise. And I was like, that's good foreshadowing, guys. Good foreshadowing.
Yeah, so then
we also see the two explode. We also see explosive go off across the field and then the town. And it turns out that was actually just a diversion of what the real plan was.
And there was also a fake
bomb
splody.
Yeah, well...
you have to be careful.
Explosion threat, there you go.
There was a fake one of those sent in to distract the SWAT team. And because of this, it keeps them away.
And it turns out that makes it 30
as
minutes.
They're eating lunch, a van crashes through the school. And suddenly, all four, well, not all four, because Tristan had asked which lunch period it was.
It wasn't Tristan, it was Kip.
It was Kip?
Yeah, Kip. So it's actually B lunch that they start attacking. And then we also see Chris, who's slightly mentally ill. Probably has schizophrenia by the way that he's talking and all that. And so he starts shooting people. Kip, he shoots a couple people with the shotgun and all that. And
yeah. So things happen very quickly, and they escalate very quickly. And because of all this, Zoe was not in the cafeteria when this happened. So she immediately kind of takes command of the situation, really. And of course, the first instincts of anybody is run, right? Because that's what her mom advises her to do, is run.
Mm-hmm.
And as things escalate more and more, she then hides, because she has to hide from them.
And then she hides from the main female bad guy, and then in an awesome scene, she turns the gun onto the female bad guy, and then done.
Yep, bang bang, done.
Yep, and then she scavenges around and stuff, and then we then see she scavenges around, and there's no ammo in the pistol, and so she's like, "All right, whatever, this is useless and stuff." And then afterwards, and so then there was three.
Yeah.
So then it turns out that Amy was involved,
Now,
or Anna.
of course, the main bad guy, Tristan's motivation is basically that he wants to be famous.
Yeah.
That is his main motivation. He gives a big spiel about how people are going to tune into this, and it's at their own fault that they're willing to watch this. And you know what, guys? He's kind of right. He's kind of right because in today's society, a lot of the times, and I'm not trying to dwell on something that has happened just recently. My prayers and thoughts go out to the people of Buffalo.
Yeah, we're so sorry what happened in Buffalo. If you guys don't know, there was a big mass bang bang
Yeah,
over there.
yeah, and so we're deeply concerned and heartbroken that this happened again. Okay, but getting on to the point of the movie is that this kid Tristan, he is kind of right, and that every single time that something like this happens, the media always glorifies the perpetrators. And they go into the backstories and why he was the way he was and why he did this.
And then there's a scene in the cafeteria in which it refers to probably one of the most famous school bang bangs, Columbine, in which he asks a girl, "Do you believe in God?"
And she says yes.
And
And
then
then he asks, why would God allow this to happen?
and then she says, "Free will. It allows the wicked to do their wickedness."
So that they can be judged.
Mm-hmm.
That is a pretty good explanation. It is.
So
Now,
then, so then Kip, he's then in charge of rounding people up, but then he finds Zoe, and she, slip and slides. Uh,
there's shotgun going off. She gets a fire extinguisher and sprays this fool right in the face.
it's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
And then,
And
and
then,
then she knocks one into his mouth, and then handcuffs him to the auditorium, and then
and so she finds out his motivation, and it turns out that this kid
was
who's
bullied when he was younger.
chubby and whatnot, and in sixth grade, two students pulled his pants down and stole his underwear, and everybody laughed. And I do know that these things can have a psychological and a psychological traumatic effect on people, but you have to just kind of get over those things in a way, because those who are those who dwell on the past are doomed to make the same mistakes. You
Mm-hmm.
have to push forward with your life, because listen, guys, bad things happen to bad people, or bad things happen to people every day. Every day something is going on. Every single second, as a matter of fact, something is going on. But you have to be able to push forward. And she basically says as much, like you're doing all this just because some kids laughed at you. And Zoe also mentions that, hey, a lot of these people were, the good majority of them are innocent. Did you ever think that they were laughing because they were happy? And because he mentions that the teachers talked about him coming up short on his homework. Well, maybe that was because the teachers wanted to see him succeed and were trying to push him, not because he was triggered. And I know we always use those words today. Everybody talks about getting triggered. Words are just words, guys. Because true PTSD is an entirely different thing entirely. And you can't just simply be triggered by words. That's not really how that works.
Mm-hmm. So then Zoe, there's this big campaign and stuff. There's like this big heroic event of how she basically gets a bunch of students out of the high school and saves many, many lives, probably hundreds.
Yeah, yeah. So she's done the bang bang to Anna, and Kip is immobilized. So there's now two.
Mm-hmm.
And he sends the emotionally unstable Chris to go find her.
Yeah.
Now we're kind of skipping over some points, but we kind of have to speed it along. You guys know how it goes. So she is in a confrontation with Chris, and this is pretty much getting towards the end of the movie.
Yeah, and she says the symbols. You're right. I changed the pattern and blah 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 because again, remember he's mentally ill and
Now, it must also be pointed out that her dad is a military war vet, and he takes his sniper and bang bang to Chris.
Yep. Square in the head too, and he's done so.
So Tristan, he is kind of panicking a bit. I think he was panicking.
Yeah.
I think he was panicking because his plan was actually falling apart by now.
And then she says, and he activates the bombs in the van.
Yep.
And so, wait, I shouldn't say that on YouTube. The explosives in the van. That's a much better term. And so, then Zoe, she immediately takes action and she puts the gun down and then switches the van into reverse. Boom! Big explosion. Then turns out that Chris had faked it, Tristan had faked his death. Zoe, she grabs her dad's rifle and then does a bit of a bang bang on Tristan.
Mm-hmm.
And then she makes the same speech her dad did, and she's about to put him out of his misery, but then she misses and says, but maybe, or then she says, or is it, after that last part. And then,
But you know, one other thing that we have to mention is the relationship between Lewis and Zoe. Because, guys, it's obvious from the very beginning of this movie that Lewis likes her. And I think that she liked him. And, of course, this leads to the moment where you often have in the movies where the boyfriend is dying or the girlfriend is dying and they realize they have the feelings for each other. And she tells him that you can tell me everything that you want, that you need to say at prom. And then that's when he says, no, I really do have to tell you something. And that was the thing about the man. But guys, gotta say, this was a really, really fun, enjoyable movie to watch.
mm-hmm.
The subject matter is very dark, so caution on that. It is very graphic, it is very violent. There is a little bit of nudity, so it's not something that parents are going to be able to let their children watch. But it's really good. The cinematography is really well done. It was really well produced. They went all in on this because, guys, we've been bombarded over and over and over in the last several years with political agendas and messaging and all their stuff. And people just, and I think maybe this is why we tend to go back to these old nostalgic movies that we keep reviewing for you guys. You guys know that we did All Dogs Go to Heaven, of course, in the last one, and that our channel is kind of catered towards that. So it's very refreshing to just see something where, okay, there's a scenario that happens, somebody rises to the occasion, and they take out the bad guys. Well, that's a good plot.
Yeah.
Nothing sinister or political about it. And it was a nice, refreshing take on a movie. And so, in that regards, I give this one 4 3/4 out of 5. What say you?
I give it a 5 out of 5. It's good.
Okay, he gives it a 5 out of 5. So that gives it a total combined score from us of 4 7/8 out of 5. But of course, as always, if you have seen Run, Hide, Fight and you think that it is the worst film of all time, well,
Clearly, you've never seen Thanksgiving 3.
exactly. Or Manos, Hans, and Fate. But just remember, we're just two idiots with a digital camera. Our opinions do not matter, except they actually do, because we have a YouTube show, except they actually don't. So, having said all that, guys, like I said, I guess this is a special bonus one for you because we did tell you that it was going to be June 10th for the next one. But we
And which
felt
well that would be.
strongly about doing this one because we just saw it. And we
I
also
had
do
been
have to tell you that for those of you who want to watch it, unfortunately, the only place that you can find it at the moment is on the Daily Wire. Now, Daily Wire, Matt Walsh, and everybody else out there that was involved with it, guys, listen to your audience. I'm sure they're going to want it. Put it out for DVD and Blu-ray. I'll buy it.
I'll buy it.
So there you have it. Big endorsement from, well, this little small YouTube channel, but it's an endorsement nonetheless.
Yeah.
But until then, as always, guys,
Peace and love from Denny and Son. Bye.